Lions are the only social cats in the world. All others are solitary. The cubs not only have their mothers to look after them, but often attentive aunts as well. Within the pride, there are always companions to play with. A lion has a great deal to learn, including how to kill. First attempts often end in failure. Then there are questions of precedence. An adult male receives a lesson in table manners from a more powerful companion. Seniority acknowledged, he's allowed to share the kill. There are about 500 lions in Etosha National Park, Namibia. This is the story of how they live together and an account of the family affairs of one pride in particular. Until recently, Namibia was known as Southwest Africa. It's a huge country, lying between Angola and the Republic of South Africa. Namibia's Etosha National Park is half the size of Switzerland. It centers round a 75-mile-long, occasionally flooded lake bed called the Etosha Pan. The Ombika Pride, named after one of Etosha's waterholes, is dominated by two immense males, each weighing 550 pounds. One is gold-maned, the other black. So long as they're present, no other males dare muscle in on Ombika preserves. In the early morning, the pride moves down to the Ombika waterhole. The zebra spot their sagging bellies and recognize that they've just fed, so they're not afraid. They know the lions just want an early morning drink after their feast. You could call Ombika this pride's own waterhole, but they're not necessarily the bosses there. With 6 resident lionesses and frequent young additions, pride strength varies all the time. At the moment, they number 19. The protection of 2 big males, plus a year-round supply of game in the area, makes the pride an extremely stable one. With so much prey available most of the year, hunting failures aren't so important. To protect both its hunting preserve and its females, the pride's territory must be constantly staked out by scent marking, usually high up on bushes. This is the male's job. They range for miles, often at night, renewing scent marks as a keep-off warning to other lions. Scraping is a way of making sure the scent lasts for as long as possible. From time to time, scent marking is reinforced by roaring, which can be heard for miles. The resident lion samples scent possibly left by an intruder. He cancels it out by leaving a fresh visiting card. He's plainly uneasy, so maybe there are rival lions in the area. And there they are, 2 very fine intruding males. These 2 lions are 2 miles inside the resident pride's territory. For some reason, they appear extremely confident. The resident male continues to trot away in front of them. But at last, the intruder's confidence evaporates. The rightful owner turns, reinforced by a companion. The advance becomes a retreat. It's typical of the way lions conduct their affairs. They're far too powerful to risk outright conflict. Territorial disputes are usually settled peaceably. The victors relax, knowing they're secure behind their invisibly marked frontiers. The females scent mark too. When a lioness is in season, this has a powerful message for the males. That wrinkled grimace is typical of a lion detecting another lion's scent. In this case, a female who's ready to mate. The grimace is sometimes a prelude to an advance, or even a rebuff. Lionesses often take the initiative in matters of love. And of course, the eternal triangle is not unknown. Mating fights are one of the few times when rival males inflict quite severe wounds on each other. When the fight's over, the female makes the first pass. These are just love pats. Back the victor goes to make sure that his rival has got the message. The lady hasn't been won without some facial rearrangement to her suitor. Courtship, even for a big male, can be quite a risky business. The cubs are born after a gestation period of between 105 and 112 days. There can be any number from 1 to 7 in a litter. Just like domestic kittens, they're born blind. They're weaned at around 6 or 7 months. These ones are about 6 weeks old. There's no telling who their father is. In this pride, it could be either black mane or Goldie. Cubs in the same litter can have different fathers. Both big males probably mated with the same lioness. Being born into a stable pride like this one has tremendous advantages for the cubs. The big pride is an effective hunting group, so the cubs seldom go hungry, and the nursing mothers have plenty of milk. With 6 resident lionesses, there are usually plenty of young companions for the cubs to play with. These 3 all belong to the same mother. Lionesses are extremely firm with their cubs, but they're also very tender. Another advantage of the pride system is that cubs of all ages belonging to different mothers play together. So the smallest cubs learn the rough and tumble of life at an early age and grow up increasingly able to take care of themselves. It's useful to have a lot of aunts around, too. Cubs know that they can appeal to almost any of the lionesses for affection, and sometimes even for milk, if there's another nursing mother in the pride. If they're not welcome, they're politely told to go away, with a foot or even a tail. The cub finally returns to her own mother, or perhaps to a friendly aunt who's also nursing young. It's hard to tell. When calling up straying cubs, females usually give a series of low grunts. Here, she's roaring. The effect is the same. The cub comes scampering out of hiding to join its mother. The advantage of having sisters or half-sisters willing to take care of each other's cubs really comes into its own when a mother is seriously injured, usually when hunting. Some of these cubs don't belong to this lioness, yet she's leading them down to drink. Their real mother lies at the bottom of this small waterhole, mortally injured. Her jaws are smashed, probably by the hooves of a zebra she was trying to bring down. She'll no longer be able to feed herself or her cubs. But the pride system gives them a very good chance of being fed and reared by another lioness. Despite the support given them by the pride, small cubs are quite vulnerable. Hyenas are a constant menace. All lions dislike hyenas, and none more than a solitary or temporarily isolated female with cubs. These hyenas are sizing the cubs up. The lioness knows it and moves closer. Even so, the hyenas might still have tried to steal a cub had they not spotted some vultures landing a little distance away. They realized there were easier pickings elsewhere. It's not unknown for adult males to ill-treat and even kill cubs, especially when there's fierce competition for food. The situation inside the Ombika pride is so secure that Blackmane and Goldie tolerantly play the role of kindly fathers. That's Goldie's tail they're playing with. Next, it's the turn of Blackmane's Blackmane. Perhaps the most difficult thing when making a film about lions is that they spend about 20 hours out of every 24 just resting and sleeping. The 4 hours of activity usually occur around dawn and dusk. With the Ombika pride, dawn is the time for hunting. Dusk, often when the pride moves down to the waterhole for its evening drink. This pride, unlike many others, never kills there. Nevertheless, the giraffes prefer to keep them well within view. The giraffes are on the alert. They've got young with them, and they're taking no chances. As the sun goes down, only the big and powerful who have nothing to fear are left at the waterhole. Goldie is a perfect example of the so-called king of beasts. But he backs down when an elephant wants his drinking place. The cubs recognize no such system of rank. All they know is that it's cool, and the cool of the evening is a fine time to play. These zebra are taking a bit of a chance by drinking so late. A large pride often gets scattered over a wide area. Dusk is the time for letting any missing members know that everyone else has gathered beside the waterhole. On moonless nights, lion activity sometimes ceases after sundown. But tonight is the night of the full moon, and there'll be plenty of action beside the waterhole at Ombika. A full moon rises over the waterhole where the 19-strong Ombika Pride of Lions is spending the night. Even in bright moonlight, it would be impossible for an observer to see exactly what happens to the pride during the hours of darkness. But the camera is equipped with a device called an image intensifier. This seizes upon and brightens the merest glimmer of light. With its help, full moonlight becomes weird twilight, in which color is replaced by a mysterious greenish hue. The arrival of some elephants makes a lioness uneasy for her cubs. She calls them to her. Just as in daylight, it's the lions who move out of the elephant's way. As so often, it's the young elephants who throw their weight about, as if trying their strength. Some more adults with young arrive. Etosha is one of the few places left in Africa where black rhinos are still fairly common. During the daytime, they're secretive and seldom seen. At night, they come to drink. They're not too keen on sharing the waterhole with lions either. Even a big male like Blackmane begins to feel uncomfortable. A threat from a quite young rhino, and he's off. An uneasy truce follows, both sides keeping their distance. It's highly unlikely that anything serious will develop between the rival groups, although both rhinos and lions do have young with them. After a time, it's the lion cubs who turn the encounter into a game, a version of Grandmother's Footsteps played with a 1-ton grandmother, a fairly young rhino. Now a rather larger rhino moves in to support the youngster, but the cubs aren't impressed. Eventually, when 3 rhinos get together, the lions decide the game is over. They retire, to do what they've really wanted to do all the time, to sleep the rest of the night away. They won't stir now until dawn, and it's time to go hunting. The Ombika pride is consistent in its hunting habits. It never kills at its own waterhole, and it prefers to go after its prey around dawn. Zebra are the main quarry. This morning, the two big males, Goldie and Blackmane, join the pride as it fans out in open order through the Mopani scrub. The big zebra herds are wary. Single animals are more easily surprised in the thick cover. The pride is in no hurry. A steady walk is all that's required until the victim is singled out. The scattered formation will add to the quarry's confusion. The victim is a youngster, not so quick in its getaway as its more experienced companions. The very small cubs aren't able to keep up with the hunt. They'd be a handicap anyway. So their mother has left them hidden in the grass. Now she walks back 2 miles to collect them and lead them to the kill. In many prides, very small cubs arriving late on a kill would have to go without, or even get driven off. The Umbika pride's territory is usually so well stocked with game that there's seldom a food shortage. So the lioness is quite happy to leave her infants to fend for themselves. This one, though, will have to be quick. The kill is fast disappearing. At last, it finds a way in and gets its share. Now here's an example of how small cubs can be a menace in a hunting situation. A kudu bull approaches. So far, he's unaware of an ambush. Not knowing that their mother is lining up their next meal, the cubs continue to play. The kudu is alert, but not yet scared. He wants to get to the water. An alarm call. Something's given the game away. And here it is. A third cub comes strolling in at the crucial moment. It's not hard to imagine how that mother feels. Though very young cubs are tolerated by all pride members, the mothers often get fed up with them and have to discipline their children. Gently tripping and cuffing with a paw are favorite methods. She wants to pick it up, but the cub won't cooperate. When they get bigger, the cubs sometimes turn the tables on their parents. This probably also serves as a lesson in how to trip up prey. The large cub on the ground is about to receive an unusually severe lesson. A second lioness, with youngster in tow, arrives to assist with the disciplining. There's no way of knowing what the young lion has done to deserve such a telling off, but it certainly gets the message. If they're to survive, cubs have a great deal to learn, including what's good or any way possible to eat. First, the mother inspects this exceptionally well-packed meal. Then she retires to watch the cubs try to find an answer to the problem. The cubs can undoubtedly smell meat inside the container, but they don't understand yet that claws and teeth aren't the right tin openers to extract it. A pied crow is more hopeful. If they do succeed, there may be something in it for him. Though this tortoise won't provide a meal, lions do eat a surprising variety of things, including carrion, small mammals such as rabbits and hares, and even occasionally fruit. The lion cub gives up, but not the crow. Crows never give up, not so long as there's the faintest chance of exploiting someone else's bad luck or hard work. But tortoises have spent many millions of years perfecting their defenses. They know that all they have to do is to wait until lions or crows get fed up and go away. But there are some apparently impregnable animal defense systems which lions can penetrate. Some lions specialize in killing and eating porcupines. In the Kalahari Desert, porcupines are high on the list of their prey. This particular Etosha lion seems to be a porcupine expert. Extracting the quills and even crunching them up calls for a special technique. The quills are as sharp as little lances. Many a lion has been left with a bad septic wound as the result of getting a quill deeply embedded in its mouth or paw. The attraction of a porcupine as prey is probably that it's slow and easy to catch. An adult can weigh 40 pounds, so there's a worthwhile amount of meat on it for a single lion. When it comes to hunting larger prey, camouflage plays a big part. If you've ever wondered why lions are gold and yellow, these scenes provide a complete answer. The color of a lion might be described as the color of Africa. You'd never know they were there unless you walked right onto one. This, of course, is what they're hoping that animals like the zebra will do. In tall, yellow grass, the zebra's best defense is to move in line astern. It's in more open country that hunting at pride strength really pays. Some of the pride waits in full view, like Indians on a skyline. The zebra know perfectly well that they're there. It also knows that the lions will never make it across the open ground in time to kill. A prudent withdrawal seems the best policy. It's the other lions, the ones the zebra can't see, which are the ones to worry about. Another party approaches. With them, a single wildebeest. That tossing of the head is often a sign of nervousness when they suspect lions are around. The trap is about to be sprung. This time, the zebra are too wary. But the lone wildebeest looks a better proposition. The wildebeest doesn't intend to be a victim either. It's amazing how many failures lions have, even when hunting as a pride. The ambush is laid beside a waterhole at the edge of the Etosha Pan. A steady stream of animals can be expected as they come to drink. This time, the target is well within range and nicely bunched. It was this lioness coming from the other direction who made the kill in a cloud of dust. The victim, once again, is a yearling zebra, not so fleet-footed or experienced as the rest. The whole pride of 10 lions converges to claim its share. Five minutes after the kill, there's only a stain on the ground to show where the zebra had been. After the feast, a drink to wash it down. Anyone who owns a cat knows how it uses the rough upper surface of its tongue to lap up milk. A lion drinks in exactly the same way. It often drinks about a gallon at a time and takes as much as 10 minutes to lap it all up. In slow motion, you can see the upper surface of the tongue at work. With their robust sense of play, young males soon become a nuisance to the pride and are forcibly told to leave. They then become, at least for a time, lone hunters. To learn his trade, this outcast established himself by a waterhole outside his former pride's territory. Among Etosha lions, he proved a complete exception. His behavior remained consistent every day during the 3 weeks Des and Jen Bartlett stayed with him to film his first attempts at making a kill. For 3 weeks, he was dramatically unsuccessful. Here's a record of some of his more spectacular failures. It wasn't that he lacked targets. He loses them in the dust. And that calls for a drink. Not a hope. He left himself too much ground to cover. That time, he didn't pick his target early enough. Charging in the midday sun is thirsty work, especially when you miss. A knockdown at last, but for the zebra. A hoof under the jaw certainly calls for another drink. Now he's learning. He switches targets. The question which everyone will ask is, how did this young lion survive for 3 weeks until he made his first kill? The answer is that he was certainly scavenging at night off carcasses. He was also hunting small mammals. His instinctive reaction is to drag his kill away, where it'll be safe from scavengers and even rival lions. He's had plenty of time to choose the ideal spot. It's an isolated bush. Surely no one can take his hard-won gains away from him here. His caution is fully justified. These 2 lionesses have come for a drink and will soon smell the kill. Inside the bush, the successful hunter is unaware of any threat. The young male has finally grown up. He can not only kill, he can also defend his spoils. We've looked at only a fraction of Etosha's lions. There are at least 500 of them in Namibia's vast national park. Their future should be secure. Unfortunately, Etosha lies only 75 miles from the Angola border, and there's always the chance of guerrilla warfare erupting in this part of Africa. As so often, the future of the lions, as well as that of all the other animals of Etosha, depends on the territorial ambitions of the human race.